Hey, Viking fans, this is Keith Millard, and you are listening to the One Bar and Lupicus Show. Go Vikes!
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupicus Show. I'm One Bar, and the Vikings officially releasing their initial 53-man roster, releasing all of their cuts. And yes, there are a few cuts that actually made me mildly fill my pants that we're going to be talking about. We're just going to be going over kind of everybody who got released. What's shaking on the roster right now. Lupicus and I will be going further into a deep dive after this, but initial reactions. Let's do this. Before we get into that, remember, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, here every damn day talking Vikings, and hashtag 4,000 and subscribe for a chance to win that Vikings jersey of your choice when we get to 4,000 subs. But let's do this. Let's start off with just go through everybody. Obviously, we're going to spend more time on others, but the most surprising one I would have to say is Everson Griffen. Griffen brought back last week, comes in against Kansas City for about, 3 snaps, had a pressure, had a sack. He's gone. He's gone. I don't know if there's a story behind that. Maybe this is something that they see that they could bring him back in the season. Maybe they just want to see what he had. Who knows? I will say this, with every one of these cuts coming down, everyone who is tweeting this out as far as reporting it basically said that this guy, they're hoping to get back on the practice squad. So practice squad now consists of 16 players. You can bring vets back. So I do anticipate a lot of these guys coming back on the practice squad. But let's do this. So Everson Griffen, the most shocking one. Not only that, but they keep Jalen Holmes over him. Yes, Jalen Holmes is still a Viking. Another little disclaimer I'll say is I don't think the Chris Herndon trade has actually gone through yet. So when Herndon comes here, we're gonna have to get rid of somebody else. And there's some positions that clearly we don't even have somebody at. So I see some of these guys getting shaken up. So I see like a Jalen Holmes possibly not feeling overly confident right now. But let's keep going. So Amir Abdullah, another surprising one. Abdullah was one of the last cuts they announced, especially with Nwangu probably going to be missing some time right off the bat. So Abdullah, I could see absolutely coming back. This is another surprising one. Long snapper Andrew DePaula. We got rid of our long snapper. We don't have a long snapper right now. I mean, maybe I completely missed it. Did he have some bad snaps this preseason? He seems like he's been pretty consistent since he's been here. I could have missed it, but we will be long snapper shopping, which again, unless D.D. Westbrook can snap, this is going to be another position where someone else is going to be gonzo. So Dakota Dozier, you know, you hate to just revel in somebody getting cut, but it was time. It was past time. Dakota Dozier, the experiment is over. Drew Samia as well, cleaning house on guards that just did not produce for the Vikings. Drew Samia, I believe, was released on a injury settlement. And Kyle Hinton, another guard. So they really cleaned house at guard. Wyatt Davis is there, and we're going to be going through some of the depth chart, but guard cleaned house. Dakota Dozier, Twitter was rejoicing. Cornerback Ty Smith, tackle Zach Bailey, no surprises there. Again, Jack Vargas, fullback, gone. We got CJ Ham. Tough Borland, my man, Gonzo. Quarterback Jake Browning, again, not a huge surprise. He'll be back on the practice squad. Nobody's going to even pick him up. He'll be back. Along with tight end Zach Davidson, 5th-round pick, had a horrible preseason, which actually might work out in favor for the Vikings. The trade for Zach or Chris Herndon probably made this actually happen, but Zach Davidson, he'll be back. Like I said, it probably worked out good that he had a bad preseason. Teams might look at that and be like, yeah, no thanks. So he is a project. We knew he was a project, but still a little bit surprising. Safety Miles Dorn, who was backup right off the bat on that first depth chart, he is gone. Hercules Mataafa, another Viking that has been around. Last year we released him during the season, so this one isn't that surprising to me, but it's surprising that we released him. He was one of the first names that came out, thinking, all right, well, we got Everson Griffen, we got a pass rusher, so they're both gone. Odd. Receiver Myron Mitchell, cornerback Perry Nickerson, wide receiver Whop Fillier, another one of my boys, Gonzo. Running back AJ Rose, a guy that everybody was kind of pulling for, but deep down, we all knew that he was going to get released. Practice squad material. He could be a guy that gets sniped, but it seems like every year a running back does very well for the Vikings. We release him and everyone's like crapping their pants, thinking all these teams are going to pick him up. I think he'll be back on our practice squad. Defensive end Kenny Willekes, another guy that I know they really do want to get back on that practice squad. I think he was a lot closer to making this team than people think. Tight end Shane Zylstra, practice squatter. I could see that, no doubt about it. Players that were waived with an injury. Chad Beebe out for the year, so his time as a Viking is most likely done. Luther Kirk, Drew Samia, and Nate Stanley. So those are the Vikings that, unfortunately for now, the Vikings are moving on from. Just a few notes here. Dan Chisena, yes, he made the team again. Dan Chisena, I don't know. He's got that magical touch. His special teams goes a long way, but and then so does speed. You say it, you can't teach speed. Dan Chisena, 2 years in a row, shocking the world. D.D. Westbrook, a name that Lepagis and I were kind of tossing around as a possible guy that could get released. He makes the team. Blake Brandel, he is our backup tackle right now. So that's a little horrifying. Brandon Dillon squeaks in. Right now, really, I mean, when it comes to running backs, we have Dalvin Cook, Madison, and CJ Ham. Nwangu is on the roster, but like I said, I could see him going on the short-term IR, which Amir Abdullah, I could see definitely coming back. And other than that, I mean, Jalen Holmes, very, very surprising. James Lynch sneaks in, which fourth-round pick last year, but man, he hasn't really shown much. And Blake Lynch, glad to see that. Ryan Connolly, a little bit of a surprise that he made the team. And then we are rolling with 4 safeties, unlike last year. We got Metellus and we got Cam Bynum. So I would say overall, biggest surprises easily is the fact that Jalen Holmes did make the team. Dan Chisena did make the team. Everson Griffin, I'm sure we'll hear more about that. I could see Zimmer just saying, you know, he could still play. Maybe down the road we bring him back. I can see a very generic answer there. And Ryan Connolly, a little surprise there. So a long snapper. Maybe Smith Marset will be our long snapper. I don't know. But overall, looking at the roster in a couple of days here, I could see a handful of changes. We're going to be looking at the special teams all around. We're going to be looking at defensive end. Some of these guys that did make the team, defensive line, I should say, I could see maybe not being here with some additions, and possibly even wide receiver and tight end. We'll see after that trade goes through. So interesting day as always. Cuts, let me know in the comments. Remember, subscribe, #4000, and in the comments let me know who got cut that you just cannot believe. I could see a lot of Everson Griffins down here, and who is the guy that stayed on the team that you are just very upset about. But remember, we did do some house cleaning. We got rid of Drew Samia. We got rid of Dakota Dozier. So yeah, we might have kept a Jalen Holmes, but we did get rid of some guys that it was time to move on from. So we can't have it all. We cannot have it all. We'll be back a lot talking. We're going to be predicting the practice squad. We're going to be going over the overall roster and then some very, very surprising moves as well. So again, we will be back soon. Skol, baby.